Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US, UK, Ghana, Nigeria, Uganda, and Kenya. Nearly 1,000 attendees joined us weekly on LinkedIn, and the world took notice. This year, Phoenix Gate was honored with the Social Impact Award of the Year and named the most impactful community of the year. Those trophies, they carry the fingerprints of every volunteer, every coach, every community member who chose to rise with us. But our story goes beyond resumes and recognition. Beyond professional development, Phoenix Gate has walked into the sacred space of business strategy with international and non-governmental organizations. We've led masterclasses, outreaches, boot camps, and visibility challenges that didn't just teach, they healed. And through it all, Dr. Magnus, our business development coach, stood at the center. A quiet force, a lighthouse in the storm. So now we ask you, are you struggling with your line visibility? Do you ever feel unseen while secretly dreaming of becoming a commanding influence, a recognized thought leader? Are you in that place between faith and fear, waiting for your breakthrough? At Phoenix Gate, we've already reached 40,000 professionals and business leaders worldwide. But this is not about numbers. It's about the transformation behind every name. We train you, we champion you, we give you a platform. And when you stand to speak, we make sure the world listens. As we mark this 1 year journey, we do it with full hearts. Gratitude overflows for our members, our partners, and every soul that carried us when we were too weary to walk. Phoenix Gate Group is not just a network. It is a living, breathing, purpose-driven community. It is hope. It is healing. It is home. And still, this is only the beginning. Here's to a future brighter than flames. We rise together.
Hi, everyone. If you can hear me crystal clear, kindly just indicate by typing CC, just very fast, so that I know that I am literally very optimal for your ears. So if you can hear me crystal clear, just type CC very fast, and then we'll move into our conversations for tonight. One of my major plan is that I don't want to keep us here more than an hour. I'd like to be done with all of my teaching in 45 minutes, and then we'll just quickly move on to the next thing. So if you're meeting me for the first time, my name is Dr. Vivian Magnus, and I am always excited to be here. I don't know what's with me and coaching. I tell my students all the time, coaching cannot be skilled. It's not a business that would require partnership and then maybe some form of, curation of specific ideations that skills in terms of, finances. But then again, it will always depend on your calling. You want to make sure that whatever you're doing, your passion is one of the most beautiful driving force. And that's why I would always come out here, time to time, to make sure that everybody is currently doing well. So the next now would want us to do very fast is kindly just introduce yourself. Tell me where you're joining me from. You can just say Vivian, the United States of America, or Jessica, Ghana. Just very, very, very short so that we can go very fast. I just want to make sure that we all know ourselves. Then for those people who are already aware or who already have an idea of what they are doing right now, that means they already figured out their niche. You can just add a little bit. Maybe after you said Jessica from the UK or Jessica from the US, you can just quickly just write things like, you can just quickly write conversations like, you are maybe let's say a marketing strategist, or you are a social media manager, and so on and so forth. Like I said, I'm really busting for time. I'll try my best to make this class very short, because I have as well many other things to do. And then of course I have my students already back end, so that we can start preparing them. This is exactly 7 days to our challenge, and I want to make sure that everybody who is currently on this live will begin to understand some of the things that we've been talking about. Like I know there are, like, let's say, a spectrum of people right now on this call. That means there are people who are probably despairing and wondering if, you know, beyond LinkedIn or beyond making money online. In fact, somebody sent me some of the the first newbies that I met today sent me a voice note, and one person was literally almost despairing. What he said was that he feels like he wants to just run away from his workplace. Like he wishes that he would just have an accident, like a car would just jam him, let him have a reason not to show up at work. And it's so bad because, again, so many of these things happen along our careers. That's part of the reason why we're going to have lots of deep conversations even on the challenge. And that is why I also want you to take this meeting very seriously. If you have your writing materials, put it very close to you, because like I said, I'll try my best to be as clear as possible, but then I'm going to also be fast. I would not want to be slow. So if you're just joining us for the first time, kindly help me by reposting. I want to make sure that at 6:10 we'll start our main conversations in 6:10. So introduce yourself, kindly repost. Let's have more people. Let's help more people. If you're on YouTube, you can just copy it, share it with your WhatsApp status, let people come in and, share ideas. I had left messages in our group, and I asked a lot of us to, start conversations before the event today. Ask questions, find out, ask me questions so that you know exactly where you are. Some people are just despairing for nothing. That means, you are you have gotten to the place where you're probably just depressed. You cannot even hold it. Finances are really a very huge problem for you. You want to stay out of that place as much as possible. I even told one of my friends very recently that for us to prosper, you have to be a very grateful person. So I'm saying this in passing, just in case some of you are saying, what are they going to say again? There is nothing again that I'm going to say that you probably have not heard before. For some of you, it's going to be your very first time interlacing with, putting yourself on the spotlight. You've got all your life, you've always been that hidden person who is not, like, who would not take responsibility. One of the things I've realized about um, not taking responsibilities in your finances, you're literally not going to have the money. And one of the most beautiful revelations I've had lately is this conversation I just told you now. When I looked at the billionaire list, the Forbes list, and when you see the gender, diversity, or the gender variation, I want to say it in a way that that it will be a little bit calmer and more interesting, is that once you see anything like that, you will now know that apparently some genders are very, they are very focused about getting the bag. And then again, money does not know gender. Money does not know, what do you call it? Money does not know gender. Money does not know whatever you read in school. Before, most of us, for those people who don't know, my DR here is actually a medical doctor. For some of us, we used to think that maybe if we're smart, that's how we're going to have money. But then I've learned the hard way. Okay, I've seen my seniors in the practice. I've also learned the hard way that it's not always about education. It means that if you really want to fix your money thing, if you want to get opportunities, you are going to go out for it headlong. So those are part of the conversations we're going to be having this night. And I said again, if you can hear me crystal, you can see me and hear me crystal clear, just type CC. I'll be very fast so that I can move on and let you have the rest of your evening as well. So for those people who have questions that have been bothering them, you can start asking those questions. Okay, beautiful. I can see a lot of people. I'll try and gloss through. Again, I said I'm working with my time. I want everything around my conversation to be in less than an hour. Then if we have any questions, for those people who will stay back to, get those answer and clarification, I can stay a little bit for us. But concerning everything I'm going to be giving out this evening, it's going to be super compact so that we can move on. I'm very, very aware. Maybe let me look through the conversations again. Okay, amazing. I can see. Awesome. I'll just spotlight us very lightly. Martha, Victory, Faith. Thank you so much, Faith, for always being out there. Faith has been my backbone this month. I literally have been through a lot of pressure. Deborah, I can see a lot of people. I'll try my best. There are some people who are not being projected. Rabia, so good to see you. I appreciate you for coming. I can see Tina. Tina, my amazing Tina, I celebrate you. Okay, I can see Onyinye, my Vivian, my Nimi. Okay, so I'll be very fast so that I hope I'm able to spotlight as many who have left the comments. So if you're just watching, you can leave a comment. Let's see you. Let's hear you. Let's know that you're here with us as well. Good to see us all. You're all welcome. Okay. Okay. So I can see Blessing. Blessing, good to see you. It's been a huge while. Okay. So I hope I've been able to spotlight as many as I can so that anytime anybody is going to come and watch these videos, they're going to see you all as well. Okay, I think some people hid their channels. Please, whoever that person is who doesn't have a profile picture, please try and fix that. You don't have to do a photo shoot. You can always use AI. There's an app called StyleSwap. You could just use it and create one fast AI, very compactable profile so that people can take you seriously on this. Okay, so I'm going very fast. I've been able to spotlight as many. Yes, we have us YouTube link. Some people are on YouTube. Good to see us. Okay, so let me just hang it off here. I said we're going to be very fast tonight so that I can release us for the rest of the evening. Thank you so much for coming out in mass. Kindly help by reposting so that other people share the links with your friends and people who would like to also be helped tonight so that I can move very fast. Okay, I just wanted to see what's happening back end. Give me a moment. I love live events. I wish I could even be doing live events every day. It's just something I love to do. Okay, so I think we're good. So much for coming out. Okay. Okay, so I'll be going straight to my conversation tonight. Please, let me just quickly ask a question. I wish you guys had told me that so that I'll be able to know the kind of people I'm speaking with today. I want to divide us into two groups. If you've actually worked with any clients at all since you showed up on LinkedIn or at all as a person, maybe you're still with your 9 to 5. Okay, maybe let me give some of us an opportunity to be very clear. If you're a 9 to 5, just write 9 to 5 in the comments. Then if you're 9 to 5 and you're exploring adding remote right beside it, just write 9 to 5, then put R, 9 to 5 R. Then if you're a complete beginner, that's you don't know anything, you have no idea, you don't even know what is happening, right? And or you don't even know where to start from, just type I don't know where. Just write I don't know where. Let's just do IDW. I don't know why it's IDW, so that I just know the kind of people I'm speaking with, so that I don't, speak over your heads. For some people, it might be their total new, their first time. I think I was able to reach out to entirely a new set of people today. I had about 100 people, chat me up today, indicating that they wanted to start their journey completely fresh. So I don't know. I was expecting a lot of them to be on YouTube. So apparently they are not here. Maybe because I met them today. I don't know if the timing was very short for them, but I had about 100 professionals, chatted me up and said they were interested. Some of them were from my Facebook and WhatsApp. I don't know. Well, probably they are thinking in Nigerian time. They don't know that we have moved. Exactly, because if you want to work internationally, you must be somebody who keeps the time. And heck no, we say we're starting by 6 and start 15 minutes after, or 5 minutes after, or 2 minutes after. It's 6. So some of them probably they'll be enjoying a rewatch, obviously. So I'm going to be going straight to our conversations tonight. For the people who don't know me, because I noticed that I had a little challenge with that. My name is Dr. Vivian Magnus, right? I'm going to share very short, probably let's say 10 minutes of what brought me to the remote workspace, my journey, so that everybody can begin to paint pictures. Like, you can literally be anything, especially women. I'm very, very passionate about women. Not that I'm speaking down on guys, but I would like to see women taking up more roles. And that's why I'm literally very vocal. If there's any purpose for this live event, it is because somehow my eyes are eyeing my gender, like hoping that there will be a lot of women who, even as they sit at home, even as they are trapped, they can actually find lots of leverages. Okay, so I'm going to tell us very fast my journey. Most of you who know me know that I am like mommy twins. In fact, my church, they call me mother mommy triplet. That means I had three of my kids in a space of, I think, 2 years or thereabout. Let's say 2 years or 2 years and some months. So for those people who still don't know me very well, I said again, I have background in medicine. So this is me in 2019 when I was doing my internship. And then this is me doing business while in Mexico. This was one of my first ever flyer campaigns. This was in 20, I think the flyer on the right is in 2018, 2017. So it's literally as good as that. Yes, that's my face. I'm usually the model for my business because I'm looking at long-term effects, and then also because I am building my personal brand. I am usually the model for my business because, again, I'll say it again, for most of us women, there are lots of things that are behind for us. We're not really as forward. And, thank God for the change in generation. Thank God for social media that it's literally bringing a lot of us out. If this was me, maybe let's say 50 years ago, I probably would have just stayed at home and raised my kids with my full chest. And trust me, with my kind of personality, I'm a flag. I can get to a season of my life where I don't even care what is happening out there with anybody else. If I'm raising my kids, I am raising my kids, and that's it. I don't care if anybody likes, let them buy house, let them buy Lamborghini. It's not my business. I'll simply just focus on what I want to do. So I'm saying it now so that you can see that everything I'm going to be teaching you tonight is not something I've not done. Thank God I read medicine so that anybody who is saying, oh, I'm in law, I don't see this thing happening, or I'm in real estate, I don't see this thing happening. I'm hoping that I will dissolve a whole lot of things. First of all, I said it again. For me, I found the online space because I was trapped, and it was a good trap, baby trap. And because also I want to consistently fight for my future. I see myself as the Ibukun Awashika of my own generation and more, right? Ibukun started with furniture. There are lots of women out there who started um Alaki just started with fashion designing before she went into, the oil wells. You want to make sure that you're listening to people's preliminary stories. It will help you not to look down on the little, strides that you have to take. And that's why for every season of my life, I have never had a season where I was not doing business. Never. I've never. It's just something that is a part of me. I want to make sure that I'm trading in my time for something with whatever skill I have. But unfortunately, for most of us, we are not so bothered about skill. Like, we look down on everything we do. Like, how do you prosper? And I say it again to most of the people in my circle of influence. Do you know why you love some of the people you love? Make a list, your pastor, Ibukun, all of them. Just call them. You find out that most of them, you fell in love with them because of those little discipline, right? Those little discipline, those little sacrifices that they made. That's why you now celebrate them. You celebrate Onyeka Owenu because she was initially a journalist who decided, oh, there was an opening in the music industry, and she never looked down on herself. She didn't ask herself questions. For some of us who have probably started out on so many niches, some of you are scared to pivot, even when you know that your niche, there's nothing in it for you. There are some niches that are very hard. I'm not going to call specific niches because some of you, if I say it now, they will just start saying, Dr. Vivian is telling people that they should leave their niche. There are certain niches that you probably cannot make money immediately. If making money is a big deal for you, if you're literally desperate to land international clients or land global roles, there are certain niches that will not be funny to get job roles in it. I will try. When I'm telling my stories, just follow me. I'm going to try to say my own story so that you can see where I had to borrow myself sense, right? From the very beginning, for those people who don't know me, I grew up in a family of, 10. We did trading. Like, at one point, we didn't have anybody in the government, like nobody doing government work in my house. And we've never had to be in that point where, that kind of begging for money like that. It's not like asking for money is bad. I'm not saying that. Obviously, some people have met with challenges that, overwhelmed their savings. That's for those who are very, very disciplined. But then there are some people who don't, like, they don't have and they don't care. And they don't mind. They will rather borrow. Ah, for me, I don't know, it's almost like a curse. May God have mercy on me. But I have never, even among my friends, they can, some people who know some of the people I hang around with, ask them if I've ever asked them for money. It's just something I can't do. So because I know that I cannot do, boot and shy, that's Hausa, I make sure that at every time I am strategizing. There's not, you can't meet me and hear that things are not working. It's not possible. I don't tell myself that anything I'm doing is not working. What I try to do is that I execute fast so that I can move on to the next thing very, very fast. If you hang around me, especially my students, my community, you see that I'm somebody who moves. I don't, if God tells me to organize a meeting, do this, I just move. I don't say, oh, I'm waiting to cross my eyes and dot my eyes and cross my teeth. I don't do that. Once I hear anything, I just move. It's when I am done with it, in hindsight, I will start seeing those places where there were loopholes and where I need to improve. Some of you, I'm also saying why a lot of us are still stuck. So please, I'm saying this so because I noticed that there is lots of despair in the atmosphere. I even shared one of my friends' conversation today on my status, my WhatsApp. A lot of people are despairing for something they didn't even try. So you hear somebody saying, like I told you guys, the voice notes I got today, somebody was even saying that he's attempting, that he just wants to die so that, and they've been firing people in that company. His prayer is that they should just fire him, but somehow they've not fired him. They fired about 150 people from January up until that point, and he is now looking for ways to make sure that he doesn't show up at work. I know a lot of us are going through some of these things in our 95s, and I'm telling you that there is also another way. So if you are a desperate, a wife who has probably lost everything, like you've lost yourself in a season, this is your chance and your opportunity to start over again. That's essentially my story. If you're a man who is looking to pivot in terms of your family, increasing your dynamics of finance in the house or having another stream of income, this is actually a very perfect place. In fact, if you take this challenge very seriously, it is eventually going to be your main source of income, because obviously being paid in dollars can even cover your salary for 6 months in Nigeria. And those are the things you want to be seeing when you're building. You want to see the vision of where you are going to when you are building. And I told you guys, I've always had entrepreneurship. So as soon as I became a doctor, something came up in my then church. We need to give for something. Like I said, I don't used to beg, I don't used to borrow, and I don't like hanging around a place where I don't contribute. That was how me starting business for myself started, right? I've always done businesses for my family, but I started for myself because I wanted to have to always give. So I say this because it matters that you know your why when you're starting anything. There are lots of people that are slow burners, they are lazy personified. It's not like it's bad though, right? But if you can be consistent in your slow release, match, it's still not bad. But a lot of us are very, very careless in the sense that we don't even push, right? You rather just ask for money than put yourself under than put yourself under a regiment. And for me, that's what I do. I put myself under a regiment. I try things, I enjoy things. Because can you please explain to me how a medical doctor is able to know all these things, is able to have all these results in a very short time? It's simple. It's a phenomenon called total immersion. For those people who are joining us for the challenge already, or those people who are already in camp, it is called total immersion. It means that there's something called time blocking, right? In a season of your life, you want to give yourself the benefit of doubt, to stretch in a particular direction, paint a picture that represents where you're going, and consistently feed that passion. And please, I am begging you guys, if you're part of my community, you already know that one of the main things we always want to push is that we want to push global representation. Again, we want to preach global relevance. I preach it all the time. There are many global things I've done in the very short time that I started building. Again, I'm saying that most of these things, you don't really, really require time like that. So for me, when I decided that I was going to show up on LinkedIn to start building, some of you don't even need to show up on LinkedIn. I'm serious. I'm not going to lie about it, right? But if you want to have very close proximities to international clients, you want to make sure that you're leveraging LinkedIn very fast. Make sure that you have a very beautiful profile, optimized from beginning to end. Show up at least consistently if you want to make LinkedIn your headquarters. You want to show up every day at least. You want to even post twice if you have to. But the most important thing is that you want to make sure that you are showing up where they need you. So the reason why I'm saying that also is because as people wake up in the morning, running off for their 9 to 5, your social media platforms are essentially your shop, your free shop, your free shop, your free shop. I'm saying this now so that I want to literally start changing our mindset for the people who say sometimes we can say we're tired, we're this, we're that. Why do I show up? I show up because if I was at my 9 to 5, I will still go out on the days I don't feel like it. So why do I want to have hypocrisy? Because it is my own business right now. So I decide when I post, when I show up. No, if you want to know a little bit closer about what I do on LinkedIn, I post every day on LinkedIn 5:30, right? Some Sundays, depending on, I leave to church on Sundays. I think literally around by 6:30 I'm already in church. So most times I fight between should I post today or should I not. Sometimes I end up posting way late in the evening, right? But every 5:30 every day my post goes up live. It's simple because because I'm going to have a shop. It's not even when, because that's my plan for the first quarter of next year, or an outlet. When I'm going to have an outlet, I will definitely show up there. I'm going to have my, my workers show up there, whether I like it or not. So that is literally how you are to treat your platform, your social media platforms. But the people who are probably here who don't even show up on WhatsApp. Okay, so I have a full-blown message for the people who saw the landing page for this event. I have a full-blown 30 minutes class that I taught on branding, and I told us, for us in this community, we are known for audacity. There is no shame. That means you have to just start wherever you are, whether you have PhD, DHD, IHD, PQHD. The question is, are you financially stable right now? If you are not, you want to make sure that you pay attention to your low-hanging fruits. Let the people who will say, what is she doing? Why is she doing this? Let the shame be on them. At least you will not enter their DM to beg them for money. Okay, I'm already helping a lot of people build certain kinds of why. Okay, so I said this was me in 2019. I've always been a business person. This, like, probably one of my, no, this was not, was this my first campaign? I'm not sure now if it was my first campaign ever, but this flyer is relevant as today. That's how seriously I take everything I do. So I'm saying this now so that a lot of us can start paying attention to whatever you are doing. Whatever you are doing is more than enough. Okay, I'm already almost entering my branding classes. Well, I teach branding a lot because I notice that a lot of women, especially, are lost when it comes to, putting daring themselves. A lot of people get tired as well. You want to avoid all those kind of things. You want to make sure that you show up irrespective of how you feel. Okay, so when I showed up on LinkedIn, I was just building. I had resilience generally. Generally, I show up every day. Nothing consignable with overload, whether I feel like it or not. Then I didn't even used to talk about my emotions that so much. It is these days that sometimes I give a vent to how I feel, and I show people that, okay, I am as vulnerable as this. So even if I am showing up, right? Even if I'm showing up consistently, it doesn't really matter, right? There's something I am looking at. Until one day I came in contact with with this this billboard. I will never forget the day I came. In fact, I can still remember the person who posted it for the first time. I think it's is it Miriam? Yes, Miriam. She's from Ghana. She was the one who posted this flyer, and immediately I saw it. I took a screenshot. In fact, because of this flyer, I've also brought her to my platform to speak as well, because I make sure that I want to make sure that I put people very close to my circle of influence who have seemed to have figured it again. You know that it's very easy, based on the principles of God's word and principles of the scripture, that it's easier to reproduce what you have seen, what you have experienced. So I grab this and I put it before my eyes. One of the first things that hit me, because again, when I showed up on LinkedIn just 2 years ago, I was very anxious. I don't know how to explain it. I was always that very smart one in the office who will know everything. And it's like a spirit of wisdom. I've always had it at work in me. I cannot explain it to you guys. What I just always knew the next thing to do, or I know when something is not going to work. Literally, that's what I do with my students, even in camp. You insist you want to do something, I'll tell you, this thing that you're doing is not really going to work, except you want to follow the slow lane, which is not bad, which is not bad. Sorry, guys, give me a minute. I don't know if you guys are hearing my children on the background. So you see some of the advantage that we women can have. So if you're a mother, don't sit down there, or you have a sister, you have a sibling, don't sit down there, saying things like, eh, there's despair. In fact, you cannot do anything with your life, or you'll be waiting to be asking for Maggie. They should give you money for Maggie, give you money for shoes. You don't want to do that with yourself. For me, I started out again. I said the one of the main purpose or the reasons why I started out is so that I don't have to ask anybody for money. But I now went from just asking someone for money. Sorry, guys, give me a minute. My children are shouting so badly. Okay, sorry for that breaking transmission. I had to warn them because they are literally in my head. I feel like I don't know. I hope I'm clear enough because they are just tensing me. They're just shouting on the background. I don't know if you can. I'm hoping that my mic is also canceling some of, because that's what the mic does anyway. It's a noise canceling mic. So I'm hoping that you guys are not hearing some of those of their background screams. So I was saying it again. This was the conversation that convicted me. I've fasted, I've prayed, I've heard God's word about who I am in Christ, all the things, all the spectrum of it. But still, when it comes to, holding conversations, I will have the idea. I just don't know. It's very, very hard for me to talk, right? I would rather be scared, or when the meeting is over, I'll just realize that, oh, it's after the meeting, then I'll now be suggesting to everybody around me and be telling them that, oh, this is what is happening to me. This was the ideas I got during that meeting. I wish I was able to tell. And then guess what? Some of the times I've had people in my unit whom I suggested an idea for, and they'll go and speak to the next leader, and they will kindly just, okay, beautiful. Thank you so much for the feedback, Olivia, Faith, and I think I saw so many feedback. Kindly pardon me. Let me leave it now. I think my screen is frozen. So most times I would have some of the things I noticed was that some of the times I will not be able to, say my mind. I will not be able to say my mind, and then the meeting is over. Somebody else will take my idea, and the person. Some people even got promoted. In fact, the last one was I was part of a job opportunity that came to me. My dear, I could not open my mouth to say something, even when things were getting wrong. I kept walking behind the scenes because I used to believe that I was a behind the scene person. That all I have to do is I will just face my front. I'm just be doing it. But guess what, right? Your personal brand requires communication. It requires a brand identity. It requires a presence. It requires conversations. You have to keep talking about it. Those, even if you're going to have one like on your post, when you post on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on your WhatsApp, whether people repost your status or not, it is their business. But for you, there is something that you are building. There is a persona, there's someone you're building that you want to make sure that that person stays alive. Every time you hit that post, right, you are saying that I am aware of what I'm building. I don't care if people are going to, of course, say celebrate me or not yet, but you want to make sure that you refine. The beautiful thing about pushing out conversations is that you can refine. You can say something in a meeting and somebody say, oh, why will you think like that? The goal is not to go and recall and say I'm not going to say anything again. The goal is to say, oh, I go back, I place it on another light, and I start asking myself certain questions. Okay, I think this conversation was somehow, thank God I said it. Oh, this is how people corrected me. If not, I would have had this mindset back to back. So I said it again. This was the first quote that convicted me, aside from many scriptures I've always had. First Peter 2:9 is my one of my best scriptures anytime, any day. Like, I just believe that I'm a chosen generation, a royal priesthood. I used to tell myself all the time, I will pray in tongues, meditate. When it's time to also hold conversations with people, I will always be scared. And sometimes I've lost opportunities. I told you guys, I even lost a job. That's when I knew I had to face my fears. hook, line, and sinker. I even lost a job because of poor communications and because I did not trust myself enough. So when I found this quote, I knew I had to save it. It's literally everywhere on my landing pages, on my seller page, anywhere. Anytime I set up anything, if I set it up myself, if it's not my community or some of my people that set it up, you see this thing. I said somebody with half your IQ is making 10 times you because they aren't smart enough to doubt themselves. So I'm saying it again. Some of you have not taken that chance on yourself. And for me, right, most times when you see land your role in 7 days, client acquisition challenge, monetization challenge, if you see founders forge, all of them are, let's say, uh uh the list of what I can do for you, what I can do in your life. And I'm saying it with all sincere, with all humility. Those are the things we can have as results, but it will not be compared to who you're going to become if you pay attention to the regiment and what we are going to be doing in this. Of course, we said for the first 7 days we're going to be together, and then what we're going to also do is that for the rest of the year, every Friday we meet, every Friday on X. Every Friday on X. You want to check Dr. Vivian Magnus on X. We have, in fact, if you've not missed our meetings, we've been doing pricing and global opportunities. I think we've had our third class. By this Friday, we're going to be having our um our fourth class, all of them saved up there. We had to start using there because it's audio, it's friendly, people can easily ask questions without undue pressure. But that is just where you can start from. So for some of you, you can even start conversations on your WhatsApp status, start conversations on your YouTube when nobody will see you. But you want to make sure that you are holding yourself accountable for what you're building. And I'm saying it again, some people have worked with people, clients, and they have lost themselves. That is not the crop of people I am building. I used to call us now. We have an audacity hub. Or that means anybody here, they call you to become a president of Nigeria, you say exactly, where do I sign? Where do I sign? It's not the question of, hey, will I be able to do it? It's that you're forming a network of people who are daring on themselves. So I said again, this was a quote that changed my life. You might want to take a screenshot. You may want to save it for yourself as well. Somebody with half your IQ. In fact, some of the people that you see as compare, all these people we are celebrating, they are holding the mic, they are dishing conversations out. You don't want to know the things that goes on within them, but they dare to take their lives back in their hands. And I'm daring you listening to me, your wife, a husband, whatever circumstances, you moved out of the country, you're just starting out, you're in the university. If you're in the university, this is the best place for you right now, right? If you're in the university, this is the right time to be anything you want to be. Don't wait until you've graduated, then you start looking for a job, then you start saying, where would they post me in NYSC? Make sure that you start some of these conversations, get some of these opportunities. So again, for the people who have been sending me DMs, they used to tell me things like, Dr. Vivian, this is my first time, I'm just starting. I'll say, there's nothing like that. And I said it again, some of the principles I'm going to be teaching, I used them when I started out. In my first week, I said again on LinkedIn, when I showed up on LinkedIn, I had the receipt. I showed the people who cared to see, right? I got 5 jobs. It's as simple as that. So that just in case you want to deceive yourself and say, oh, I'm a newbie, that's why opportunities are not coming to me. The question is, if people are getting these opportunities, what is it that they are doing? What is the mental framework? What is their positioning? Those are the things you want to be looking at. And that is what we're going to be talking about tonight with the time that we have available to us. Like I said, I don't want to keep us long here so that you can go about other activities. If you're just joining us, thank you for joining us at this point. You can repost, share with your WhatsApp status. Okay, let me even repost as well. I think I didn't repost. So for most people who will be asking me, why am I doing this? I also still ask myself that question, why am I doing this today? Because frankly, every time I host events, every time I try to get people on board to do things, it wastes my time because I have other clients. I have other clients that I'm working with. In fact, the founder of Altip had been on my case. Initially, one of my phones, that's my conversation phones, had issues. So I didn't even bother because I wanted to focus on, how I was going to get a lot of people to come for this particular event. So I was trying so many new things online, right? Which I'm going to teach us, a lot of us. In fact, I know exactly how we're going to get our results this new camp, right? So, as I said, those were, it's usually drains on me. I have I have maybe not, if not more than 5 clients who are waiting for me on other things. But I said, let me just, once I do this class today, I'll be able to face them and face other things. So I'm trying to say that, handling students always drains me. But I realize that if I don't do it, again, is the posture, the coloring of my soul, right? The coloring of my soul. I just want to see people get better. I don't want to get better alone. That's number one. Number two is that it's like a call for me. I want to consistently be in people's life, being able to be that voice that encourages, strengthens them, make sure that, my goal is to have a movement, an army of men and women, right? In fact, I'm almost literally quoting my church mantra, rising from the face of the earth, giving effective leadership to my own portion of the niche, to my own side of the generation. I want to be that voice that people can look up to and say, okay, let's go again. Literally, that is why I will not stop these things that I'm doing. Of course, with time, I'll have more systems, probably hand it over to my community members and my, students, but still, I would definitely find a way to consistently be in your lives. That's my plan. And that's why most times, anytime we open our door for any challenge at all in our communities, we make sure that you stay with us to the end of the year. If you want to stay till next year, you can still stay. The only thing is that you cannot go AWOL on us, right? You cannot just disappear. You can't be a part of the group. Like today, I promised my group members, some people who are in another group, some of you might not even, okay, those people who joined the main community, at least you've seen us and you've seen the numbers of people in that community as well. So there is a particular group that as soon as I'm done with this event and I see that they did not come around for this event, I will just be removing them with my full chest, because that's the promise. I don't like dormant people. You want to make sure that you are striding, you're pushing. So if it was strictly business for me, there is heck no way I'll open the doors to my community and let you stay with me to the end of the year. It's draining. It is draining, but then there's also an anointing and a grace upon me to make sure that people get it. So if you want to rubbish my anointing, you out, right? It's fiam. That's what I'm going to do with a lot of people today once I'm done with this event as well. Because I warned them, I told them, okay. So let's be going very fast now. So I'm hoping that I've been able to encourage a lot of people. In fact, these were the first few months of our challenges, were some of the results. We had a lot of people who got, I think Favor got like 3 jobs in the first week. First week when she started with us. And again, I said, some people, you're OGs, you just probably don't know that some of the skills that you have can actually make you money. So that's why you want, one of the first thing you want to do is you want to write low hanging fruit. If you are here and you're listening to me and you have a pen and a paper, and this is probably your first time, write low hanging fruit. All the things you did effortlessly without pressure, right from even your childhood, in the university, with your, with your clients. You want to make sure that you write that so that you can start thinking. That's what I did. Oh, I'm going to show you guys how this, I did it for myself, so that maybe you start questioning some of the niches that you think you're doing. Some of you want to wait until you get a job. Most times people will not hire confused people. In fact, with the way the world is now globalized, nobody wants to hire somebody they want to start training from the beginning. They want to move with a moving train. They want to move with a moving train. So I said these are some of the results that we got, right? I'm going to be moving very fast. I also want to admonish us why I still insist on building your brand while you're working with clients, is because the freelance space is very volatile. Today you can be earning $10,000 with the clients, and by next week something can come up and they can go and work with other people. So that's why you must, it's like a balance of two things. You're building your personal brand. That's one pillar. For some of you who saw the videos that I posted, building your personal brand is one pillar. um Building working with clients, another pillar. Having a possible material digital products is another pillar. For those who have that affinity for helping others, you might also want to explore coaching. And then the oga pata of them all is being able to productize your knowledge. That means having a products that people can buy into. Okay, so Facebook is a product people bought into. You can call all the names. Substack. Basically, most service as a software products are easy to scale, but you can't scale coaching. I said this again, I said it at the beginning. You can't scale coaching. For some of us who think, oh, you can always launch a course at every time. See, you don't, you can't scale coaching except you have a call, a an affinity to help people. Definitely, you want to make sure that it's part of the channels or how you get people to exchange value for your money. Okay, so let me be very fast, like I promised. Okay, so this is also, she was I love her so much because Tifa was one of the my first students who made six figures from one deal. Like she just told the client, give me, pay me this, and the person paid straight up. In fact, by the time she started charging six figures, by then that year, I didn't even have the guts to do it. So she was one of the people who also, and then she made, hey, I'm not supposed to say that amount here, but I have students who have made lots of money. I also have students who have made $20,000 like in revenue. I've had people, I've, of course, for the people who are in the communities, we now have two clients. In fact, that's what I used for my what did you call it? My WhatsApp, my, what did you call it? My AI assistant on WhatsApp. If most of you noticed, he kept saying it for the people who are meeting me for the first time, kept telling you guys, Simi and Mrs. I almost called the second person's name. But Simi, you can find Simi anywhere. She's on LinkedIn here. You can also chat her up and ask her how she was able to, get the $3,000 deal. Anytime, I'm always happy to, get her to talk. I wish I even spoke to her earlier to come and speak here, but there's no problem. The goal is I wanted this live event to be me literally just pouring out, and so that I am very fast, so that I don't take our time as well. So for me, I went from literal newbie, no, I said newbie. So Phoenix Gate was curated in my 4 months of building online. 4 months. In fact, the 4 months is because I didn't even know what I was doing, because there was nobody who seemed to know what they were doing when I showed up. Everybody just kept saying that it was only the OGs that figured this out. And that's why for me, I'm very, very passionate about people who are just starting out, because you can actually start earning immediately. There's no curve. There's no curve as I build. When I get to 20, all those rubbish talk. When I get to my first 1,000 followers, drama. The only thing that the numbers can confer to you is maybe some form of trust, and it shows your journey. That means you have been committed to this thing for a season. People can say, oh, this account cannot run away. It's possible. That's why for some of you who are meeting me for the first time, some of the things I try to do is, when I send you messages, I send you my LinkedIn profile so that you can see. Even at that, because LinkedIn is actually one of the safest, you know, platforms. You cannot just change your name or change somebody's name. LinkedIn will just wipe out that account. Do you understand? So most of the people who have the accounts on LinkedIn grew it from de novo. There's no selling of of personal profiles on LinkedIn. So that's how sure. That's why I share it. But the people are wondering, "Man, why is she sharing that with me?" It just shows you how long I had been building. Okay. So these are lots of my testimonials. I don't want to stay here too long. Like I said, the power of a brand anchor. I've told you guys my story, how I started. For me, I went through a firing. In fact, it was like a circle. It happened twice. Then I knew that there was something about my positioning that was wrong. You know, most of us, when we have challenges at a workplace or in our careers, the next thing we used to do is always we pick one or two persons in those workplace and start with hurting them for the rest of their lives. But for me, I did introspection. 2 seasons cannot pass and leave me the same way. There's definitely something that I was doing wrong. And that was how I started my journey in building my brand. And I took seriously leadership. Again, I'm going to say this in passing. If you are here, be comfortable with leadership. Posting online is leadership. It is taking responsible or contributing to some of the voices that will be heard, right? Contributing to ideas is leadership. Saying, not being silent is leadership. Being able to say the right thing at the right time is leadership. So you want to make sure that you hold that. In fact, one of the things God taught me is that leaders, in fact, most of the people you know, Tony Elumelu, just call them, all those guys who built banks in those days, those guys did not really have Shingbang. Most of them started all those banks at 35. It's simple, stewardship. A lot of people have money to give. A lot of people have money to give. In fact, you'll be shocked that one of your relatives might be having maybe 100 million, $500 million somewhere hanging around, or naira hanging around. They just don't know what to do with it. until your light starts shining. You start hearing things like, don't worry, I'm going to sponsor your podcast. All you have to do is to say that I sponsored you. In fact, I have a friend like that. When she decided to start building, that's when people started saying, okay, I'm going to buy this for you. I'm going to buy this for you. But you have to start by taking charge of the little one that you can do right now, the little opportunities that you can do right now. We want to make sure that you start building already. Let me see very fast. Okay, so these are the few things I did before now. I'm generally a scale person. I like to scale things. If I start anything, I'll blow it out of proportion. So that is literally my personality. So if you're asking me how it's going to be easy for me to work with you, that's exactly what I do. So when I started out my remote work journey, I started first of all as a medical virtual assistant. You can see I even got an opportunity. I landed my first job role. You can see the dates there, February 2024 on the right. So I'm sure some of you've been building your online space maybe for as far as 6 years ago, but you are still one demon in your mind is still telling you that one demon in your mind is still telling you that you're a newbie, you're a newbie. You don't want to, you don't want to put yourself in that place mentally. You want to make sure that, for me, how my mind works is that once God tells me something, I do it. I do it. I do it almost immediately and I move. I learn every day. In fact, in these last few days, Kai, I don't want to say what I did in these last few days, right? And it's simple because I want to make sure that I'm daring myself. You want to make sure that you're daring yourself consistently. So let me move as fast as possible. So I'm not going to stay on these results. Most of them you're going to see them. We're going to talk about them when we start our classes. We've had lots of results that I can't even keep now. Now, for those people on YouTube, right? If you're since you're starting out your remote work journey for the first time, please, I inquire you, or I assure you, I ask you to please try your best to start building on LinkedIn as much as within your power. There are less distraction on LinkedIn. If you don't know something, like if you're Itiboribo, like in my tribe, Itiboribo means you don't know much. If you don't know much, okay, guys, give me a minute. My goodness, if people see what I'm doing in this house, people will not believe that I'm having like a sandwich of noise in my background. But then, guess what? That's the beauty of building from home, right? You take responsibility of your journey, right? Of course, if I was doing head on, for those people who don't know, my husband is a surgeon as well. So imagine that I'm a surgeon, I'm doing an eye for an eye for my husband. He becomes a consultant, which he already is, and I'll say, me, I want to become a professor. Let me show him that I'm a woman and I'm a feminist. You can imagine us doing back and forth. That would have not been so good for my children, because a lot of us have done that to our kids. A lot of us have done that to our kids. Okay, a lot of us have done that to our kids and have left our children at the mercy of some strangers. Some of us still have some stories of being molested and all that. For me, I don't think anything like that is what my children, I take care of my children by myself. Of course, we have systems that get other people on board, but I make sure that I'm available. And that is why I chose remote working. Okay. So let me be very fast. Somebody said network. If you can see me, hear me loud and clear, please type CC. If you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, yes, I think I'm good. I think I'm good. If you're just joining us, repost as well. Kindly repost. Let's see how fast we're going to go. Apparently, this class. So I said I've just admonished everybody. Build on LinkedIn. You have less distraction. You have a closer. You easily have you easily reach out to international clients. Then some people, there's a particular tool that I will also admonish some of us to get on camp. In fact, you can DM anyone you like, right? Because again, they monetize, you know. Okay, beautiful. So, okay, if it's clear, thank you so much for letting me know. Thank you for my YouTube people as well. Okay, so I think I've reached a certain point. If we have any questions, please just start asking the questions. I want to see how fast I'm going to be, right? So, um we've talked about, I've admonished everybody, yes, to join LinkedIn. For those people on LinkedIn, you're in the right place. Don't have despair. Just show up with authenticity. Don't build alone. Don't build alone. Don't build alone. In fact, if you're going to cut out this conversation, just be sleeping and hear my voice say, don't build alone. Don't build alone, right? Don't build alone. I've said it very clearly, but if you want to build on LinkedIn, there are several ways to get yourself positions for international clients. Most times, I said again, most people love a moving train, a moving train, a moving train. Most people love moving train. So entering someone's DM or going to someone's comment section and saying things like, oh, this is my first time, but just give me a chance, is the most silly thing you can do. It's the most silly thing you can do. In fact, I'm going to write a post about giving people a chance tomorrow, as my post. But I'm still saying it that we can only advocate for people to hire newbies. But I don't want you to be in that place where you are expecting that you're a newbie, and therefore you will not put yourself in a learning regiment because you're hoping that somebody will hire a newbie. I said again, people always want a moving train. That means anything you want to do for others, do for yourself. That's why for us in this community, if we say client acquisition challenge, is the least I will ever do for you as my students. I'm saying it again, is the least. Heck, if I just teach you client acquisition challenge, I will not have done you justice, because I am going to teach you how you'll be able to build to a certain phase. In fact, the build to a certain phase is not more than 1 week. Oh, it's not more than 1 week. For some of you who think that, oh, let me just for 1 month. No, we don't have that kind of brain here. Don't say, oh, she's a doctor, she's fast. You too, you're a doctor, you're fast. If you're in my community, all of us, we dash ourselves doctorhood. All of you are doctor, doctor, doctor. Thank God for AI as well, that will also increase or make conversations very fast. I'll teach you how you can get things done. So I said again, we'll always scream. We as top creators can scream, give people a chance. But for you, you will say, give yourself a chance. You're going to put yourself on a regiment, right? I've told you, if I teach you only client acquisition, landing remote work job is the least thing. In fact, I don't even think that people should pay to learn those kind of things, because I post it every day on my post, right? So everything I'm going to teach you around is, first of all, you need to start from, I teach clarity, but clarity that I teach is not the regular clarity that people teach, where you just pick up one of your passion and your perspective, then you package it together, add your purpose to it, then you start telling people that they should buy something from you. No, we don't do that. There's a concept we talk about all the times. For the people who are in psychology, Maslow's hierarchy of need. Don't worry, when you come to camp, we hold some discussions. For some of you, you have to change niches. For some of you, you have to position yourself better to get a better anchor. For some of you, you have to get your stories to match what you represent. Because again, most times people don't buy from you, or people don't hire you. They unless they have bought into you. And that's why people do. I mean, what is the concept of interview? The concept of interview is that this guy is smart enough, he has everything in his CV, but let me get to meet this person. Because we hire people, we don't hire skills, we don't hire um results, we hire people. And because people actually bring the results. In fact, God taught me outrightly, and that's why I take my community very seriously, that humans are the like top priority. I don't know how to describe it. A human being is the most priceless position on earth. So anybody who is community focused in building is going to pivot faster than other people. So if you're a selfish person, away, right? Away. It's not going to work. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's not going to work for you. Sooner or later, with all your degree of selfishness, you'll still be stuck. And there's nothing wrong with it. At least you know that you're selfish. The only thing you're going to be telling yourself every day is to find ways to de selfish yourself, like be ending selfishness at every phase. For me, I had to tell myself every month there's certain amount I must spend to get things done. And there's nothing wrong with it. If I want to learn something from anyone, a top creator, in fact, I do it sometimes. Some of my friends or some of the creators on LinkedIn. What I do to Okay, I think it's raining here. heavily. For some of the top creators on LinkedIn, some of the things I do is sometimes I just transfer money. I'll just chat someone up and just say no, nothing. I just want to exchange value. If you do anything for me, in fact, one of my marketing strategies that I worked with before I started this whole campaign for some people, for those people who joined us on YouTube, that's how you came about, right? I spoke with the person one or two times. The person was making a lot of things difficult for me. I don't know. I'm hearing some sounds that are not supposed to be heard. This my kids. They will not. Okay. So, like I said, sorry guys, permit me for that little break. So what I did was the person was telling me so many conversations that were not necessary. I'm a tech babe, for God's sake. Like my landing page being almost 200K, and I do landing page. In fact, this is part of the things I teach in my camp free of charge. So when I saw the bills, I was just laughing because so these things are that valuable. So you can see that some of you might have some of these skills, but you're not paying attention to it. You're not monetizing it. That's why you think that other people whom you take their time also should not be rewarded. In fact, one of the biggest lessons I've learned even more recently is that if you want to work with high ticket clients, you have to be high ticket yourself. That means you have to spend in their realm. So some of you are meeting for the first time who don't even know anything about social media. That's exactly how I met you. You saw my ads and that's how you came here. And I don't have a problem with that as well. So I'm saying this again. You want to make sure that you gain clarity. I've told you our own clarity is not the clarity anybody's teaching out there. Then our own content. For us, content is both for what do you call it? Is both for accountability and for growth. It's really about likes and comments, even though likes and comments are welcomed, right? We celebrate all those who like, who repost, who share, who introduce us to people. But content is for what did they call it? Is to hold us accountable of our growth, is telling out, is giving an account of the journey our minds went through as we built. Okay, so courses for some of you who would really in 7 days, yeah, some of you will have courses if you want, like I said, but I will force you, Sha, you must do something. Some of you will write your book in these 7 days. If you like, say, I'm not tech savvy, that's your business. So we'll put fire under your bomb, you're going to release it, right? For those people who want to build communities, very easy. We can do that as well. Okay. Some of you have had my testimony. I have a testimony of building a community of almost 700 members for one of my students. I think yes, 700. What's that her name, Seth? It's been a while I've spoken with her. So yes, that is also possible. So that you not say, maybe it's after 6 months. All those things are drama. Okay, drama, drama, drama. For those people who want to sell things, no problem. We can always have any kinds of product, but everything is going to happen within these 7 days. I'm saying it again for the newbie people. I'm going to emphasize this for the people who are probably just starting out because, hey, is my network bad? If you can hear me clearly, kindly let me know. Let me be sure because I think I don't know why I can't see much people. Okay, beautiful. Thank you so much. Okay, so back to my conversation. So I said we're going to do all that for those people who are going to join us as well. I've talked about how, for me, I figured out a lot of things faster. Most of you, when you come in contact with opportunities to exchange money for value, you always ask question, will it work? Me, I don't think like that. My own is burn the money, learn how not to do it again, or learn how to put yourself under, learn how to regiment yourself. So even for this life event, like I said I tried something else. I think this class I decided it on Friday from my post. People on my post said they wanted to learn. They wanted to learn. So they said they are confused. They're not figuring out LinkedIn. See all of them. Oh. I think that post, I don't know how many people were on that post. Maybe like roughly 300 to 400 people were saying, oh, they're confused on LinkedIn, help them. I just decided from that day that I was going to host a live event by today. So some of you are still calculating. I just did on Friday. I asked, people said yes. By Friday, I had created the event. So I had just Friday and Saturday and Sunday to tell the people that I can tell. For the people who reposted, thank you very much. If at all there's one person on this live event, is because of you, right? If you reposted, it's because of you. But that's how my brain works. I'm just trying to tell you, for the people who Satan have been magnifying all these things in your brain, like they've been magnifying a lot. They're telling you, maybe, wait until when you turn like this, until you tell people for 6 years. Me personally, I don't care, right? Every time I have an opportunity to hold conversations, I'm refining my convictions. So it's a big win for me, first of all. Every time you are curating something simply because God told you to do it, first of all, you're holding yourself accountable for that conversation. You cannot lose. You cannot lose. That's what people don't understand. But shame has won a lot of us cloak in such a way that you just feel like, oh, okay, how can this person organize events and there are 10 people inside? That one can sign Aboro with overload. Okay, so conversations like this is what you want to be looking out for. So I said, I've taught us, for the people who have been following me closely, the golden circle. You must ask yourself why. I'll start from the inner circle. That one now, I just added it by myself. So if you're probably meeting me for the first time here, the inner one is your who. You start with your who. So you have to be clear with yourself, and your who, you cannot have it outside God, right? So you want to, if you're being very superficial with God, prosperity is going to be tough for you. I'm serious, because it's possible that you can prosper even if you don't care about God, but the prosperity is directly proportional to your soul. I don't know how to explain it. So you're going to lose yourself sooner or later. So that guy who was intelligent, who started taking kai, who became mad, that's how his journey went. That best student who was in your class, who all of a sudden after school became a prostitute, that's how it went. Prosperity has a lot of burden on the soul. You want to make sure that you have somebody speaking over you, a mentor. You also want to have God consistently on your side, putting him ever before you, because yes, sometimes things will not work out well. For some of you who used to watch the School of Hard Knocks, you see that literally almost billionaire that has been interviewed, there are no free hanging. There are really, in fact, let's say in percentage, maybe 99.99999, except maybe that 0.0011 inherited wealth or maybe duped somebody. But that doesn't mean the person's day of reckoning is not coming. So you want to make sure that as you prosper, you are holistic in your prosperity. Okay. Okay. So let me go to this is our time. Our time is fast spent. Hey, Chimo. And I'm barely, let me go to the main topic of the day. For those people who want something very fast, I want to also help those people who can implement. So if you can go from here, you don't want to join us on our challenge, no problem. You can go from here and go and enjoy yourself. At least for me, I make sure, I told you guys that for me, I put my body under. Every day I teach is a call, is a passion, is a grace on me, right? I'm the one who gets better every time I share knowledge. So I am not scared. In fact, I'm even considering I'm going to host another event on Sunday. I don't know. I'll just see how God touches me. In fact, if I had my way, I should be hosting events on LinkedIn every day. I'm just trying to tell you people how this thing they do me. You're the one who doesn't have urgency, and you cannot be careless about your soul and expect results. It's going to be very hard, right? So for me, I'm still saying it again. For the people who are looking to get international jobs, it is not hard. It's the easiest thing you want to do. So the reason why I started from where I started is because, again, I said most times people who want you to work with them want to see you with results. So you don't go into someone's DM and be telling the person, this is my first time, let's see as it goes. You want to put yourself on that regiment, get that result you want to promise another person for yourself, then take screenshots and curate. You take screenshots and curate your portfolios for what you did for yourself, your friends, your relations, your communities, right? Okay, so if you can hear me so far, do see. I'm enjoying myself. If you can hear me so far, say see. If you're already in camp, there are some people who have already joined us in camp. If you're already in camp, say in camp. These new people that have joined us is because of God, though. If people don't know that I am Madam Fiam. That means if you miss class, you just see yourself outside of the community. Because what insolence! I don't know why anybody will be looking down on their own season. Like for me, this is war, right? Showing up online is war. In fact, my 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 pastor had said it one time. In fact, my pastor has given me sleepless nights from the last, I think it was last 2 Sundays, he told me something. He's not even told me, he told it to the general church, but the way it's latched on me, he said something. He said, do you know what it takes? Do you know the energy it requires to make a man? Do you know the energy it requires to make a man? Do you know the energy it requires to make a man? And I think the finger of God of Pastor Ibiomi is already, I think they've already set for launch. Oh, Chim, I saw it on somebody's status today. I saw the how many thousand capacity. And again, that question came back to me saying, do you know what it takes to make a man? So that means if the way you are treating your career, the way you're treating your career, the way you're treating what God has called you to do is the way you are going to build a 10,000 capacity. So everybody, the people who are angry with pastors are just jealous because they've not been able to bend their niche to produce that result. But I tell you solemnly that you can use any niche to produce any result. The question is, how convicted are you in your niche? So for me, anything I see people do in churches, so Pastor Chris right now has launched a car company, right? He has collected license. I don't know how far of coupling car in Nigeria or wherever he wants to couple it, right? Before you jealous and say tithes and offering, never do them, and all the useless conversations that always come up. The question is, for your own niche, have you been able to produce that result? That's how I think. Oh, so when I'm thinking of an institution, my academy, having 5,000 seater, something that will last, that will be global, something that will last intergenerational. So if you start thinking like this, you will know that by the time you wake up in the night and you turn from your left to right, you just pray in tongues. You just do jala ba 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 ba. If you want to watch movies, jala ba ba ba, because you know that heck no way is what what God has called you to do, whether in the marketplace or in the pulpit, going to be low hanging fruit. Your medium of entry will be low hanging fruit. It will be things that are easy for you, for those people who can sing, who are here, for those people who can do businesses, who are here. That is your point of entry, but that's not your point of pivot or point of scaling. So you want to put your body under, and you don't want to know what some of these preachers do. In fact, right now I'm shameless to say that most of them are my mentors, because they are literally the ones who they used to hold life on the jugular, and their results always shows itself. You can say that, oh, they are deceiving believers. You go and try deceiving one person. Sure, is this small courses that people used to sell, that they even used to, somebody will pay 5K for a course and is dragging a human being online, or 10K or 50K, even 100,000. You pay for a course 100,000 and you're dragging your coach online. It's just trying to tell you like the depths of poverty. So, and then somebody has a project in billions and you're not asking questions. Okay, so I said, back to my conversations. I said it again. The goal is you want to make sure that you understand that you have done whatever it is you want to work for people, for yourself. And it's very simple. For those people who are in camp, I'll craft the conversations to make sure that they suit your niche. In fact, for some of us, I'll change your headlines to suit your niche. We'll find the better conversation. I have an app that does that as well. So the app will just give us a general overview, vet your conversations that you've had so far for your profile. Then during one of our classes, we'll see how our time, for those people who come in very early, we can quickly just do a very fast one. Then you can be asking questions within the group. People will be answering you and all that. So I said, getting an international job is not about being the smartest, but of course you can put your smartness to use. I've told people severally, when I started, I told myself, I'm literally moving. I want to be certified. Yes, beyond my niche. So that's why for some of you who saw some of the ads I did, I said no certificate. No certificate is because I am not using medicine, right? I literally started from the beginning. Anybody who meets me, I literally just started from the beginning, and I decided to just push. So no certificate means that I had to get certificates afresh because I felt like I needed them. So I ended up getting, I think, almost 31. Then I deleted some because they were, at the beginning, I was just getting as much certifications before I now started streamlining my certificates to the journey I had in mind. So far, I think on my LinkedIn profile, I have like 27. So, but it's not because, and it's in the span of these last 2 years. So one of the things you want to do is you are not just getting opportunities because you're smart, it's just because you have started documenting. So I think I went for a live event last on Sunday. It was, I think, Modi's event, and people were talking about pricing and valuing. And I just said it's simple. Your pricing, what you charge is premeditated, right? Sometimes it can happen by luck. Mm? It can happen by luck that you tell somebody, okay, pay me $5,000, and the person will just pay you sometimes, or $10,000. But most of the time, the people who get paid their worth are people who document their worth, people who have a step one, step two, step three, step four, step five, step six, step seven, and this is the overall cost. However, we can do this for you. Those are the people who eventually get paid. So I said again, essentially what we're going to be doing in this 1 week is that we are going to build sha sha sha. Right? So that's house. I grew up in Jos, so I have a little a house here and there, right? We will walk the walk, and it is starting on the 1st of September for those people who want to join us, right? For those people who are in camp, thank you for being patient with us as well. Because when we announced for the camp the first time, we didn't even have dates, nothing. People just followed us. Blah, blah, blah. I think we had like 30 people. They just followed us without even asking us when, how, why, as how, as where. So this is also me celebrating all those people. I hope that you've finished your book as about this time, right? I'm hoping that a lot of us have finished our book. Let me just see if we have questions. Please start asking me. I think I have spent the 1 hour I promised to spend. I don't want to stay longer than I have promised. So I took us through the first step of getting remote roles, the easiest and the first step for those people who want to join us in camp. So if you're interested in joining us in camp, kindly just say interested so that we also hold you accountable. We can follow you up as well so that you can join us. For those people who are meeting me for the first time, the reason why I still, even from the first time you met me, I still told you that we have camp. So I did not hide and tell you that, oh, this free event, we just want to be cozy about the free event. Is that me? For the people in in the community, I can teach for 4 hours. I say can. I have a 5 hours class. My book club, I taught for 5 hours. I didn't have anybody on the live with me. I sat down like this and I taught for 5 hours. So if I am saying that um I would want to cut it off now, is because I honor your time. I don't know what else you had in mind. What I put on the schedule was um 6 to 7:30. So we have excuse me, we have 12 hours 12 minutes left. Is it 12 minutes? Yes, 12 minutes left. So if you want to join us in camp, just comment interested, join us. For the people who are meeting us for the first time, like I said, the money I said you people should pay, that 10,000 is free. And I'm going to say it with my full chest. Sorry, let me. That 10,000 is free. Let me explain to you why it's free. And I'm going to tell you as well. This is the breakdown. Imagine you're part of my camp and you have to stay to the end of the year, right? This is August. That means September, you're not paying me anything. Um, October, you're not paying me anything. This November, you're not paying me anything. December, you're not paying me anything. And you'll be coming to my class every Friday. And then you can always chat me up when you like. Of course, you can drop the questions. I get super busy, but you can drop the question, ask me questions. Like I most times, if you come for my meetings, I can face you. Sometimes some of our meetings, we don't even discuss anything. We ask people, tell us what you want to do. Tell us what you're doing right now. We can start from questions or we can start with testimonials. That's how our Friday classes get. Sometimes I teach some weeks. Like now we're doing pricing and global opportunities. So I teach every Friday. I teach, just so that I'm making people soak in opportunities that they can, start doing. So I said it again. Imagine I was going to charge you monthly. You will know. Ask Faith. Faith is my what did you call it? My witness. By the time we calculated um what the community runs on, ask her the money that 30 people that had paid, we had used it to pay for sorry, excuse me. There are 30 people that had paid. We had already used it for, what did you call it? Just community essentials. And so that means I didn't get 5 naira from it. So like even 5 naira, that means officially I'm going to be teaching the people I'm going to be teaching in the next 7 days, except I have other people that could jump on board. Plus, aside from the ads I did and all that, even me, I did not have 5 naira from it. So that's why I had to even ask myself, Vivian, why are you doing this? And I realized again that I want to be in people's lives, and I mean it. I mean it. And again, just to put it in person, I don't do low tickets. I don't do low tickets. That means this is the first time I'm doing 10K. I don't do low tickets. This is the first time I'm doing 10K. And the next class we're going to take our time to call for, it's going to be 100,000 each. And it's not because of anything. By the time you calculate the 100,000, if we start January with them, which is normally what I do, even if they pay me 10,000 per month, you see that the money is useless. I'm still at loss because I maintain community. I have people working for the community. So by the time I want to pay them as they deserve, because again, I said, if you want to work with high ticket people, you have to be high ticket. That's how I think, right? So if I want to pay them what they deserve, not because of what the community is bringing in, you see that I still am doing for free. And I'm serious. This camp is literally a free camp. So if you want to join us if you can. And please, we need a lot of people that will help us with the campaign. We have 7 days to go. You can see countdown. It's starting on the 1st of September. So as many that want to join in now. Well, conversation started in the community since 2 weeks ago. So for some people, as all these last minute syndrome people, conversation, that means some people have even finished reading their books because we have materials. What we want to do is we want to make sure that once camp starts, we are bang bang bang, we're moving from one topic to the other, we're moving from one topic to the other. I know that in the whole of LinkedIn nobody does this with people, but how can I tell people? How will I borrow them sense? How would I tell them that I am just stretching myself for nothing? Anyway, at least my own joy is that I get to preach sometimes to you people. So that's my joy. And then I get to communicate because I also believe in leadership. This is also part of the things that I believe that I'm giving. I'm a 2 times social impact awardee. So people know that this one, no be money be her problem, right? She's just doing it to help a lot of people. And I literally see it as so. So even that, thank you. If I had my way, I'll make it 1 million naira. Sincerely, if I want to charge you, that's what I will charge you. But because again, we want it to be a low barrier so that people can come in. If you know that if you pay 10,000 naira, you're not going to be serious, please increase the money so that I can even use it to pay for other things that because I had to downsize a lot of activities in the community because the community was not, was not even bringing money. When I just started another project and I realized that the community was not bringing money, but do I want people to be helped? Yes, so I cannot stop. Okay, so I'm saying it now so that a lot of people can join us. We have more than four books. We have 2 books, the DM strategy, Land Your Role. So even if I want to sell that book, that's how even I want people to reason, right? Even if I'm going to sell DM strategy and Land Your Remote Work Role on its own, those 2 books like that, I can sell it for 20,000 naira. Then to tell you that I will give you 2 books, then I have like 5 materials you need. That one, storytelling, I'll give you guys. Then I'll also give you getting your niche, being able to find a suitable niche, right? I have another material on conversion code, how to write posts that can make you money. Then products. I have lots of what did you call it now? Prompts that will help you create products. That's why we can get everything done in 1 week, because I've seen it in camp. Most of the things I do, even if we say 4 weeks, we say 30 days, everything is compressed in that first week. So I just want people to come with ginger, get fired up, then you stay in the community. Every Friday we still meet. If you're trying out new things, you can just say, oh, you're confused about this, you ask questions. I just want to make sure that I will not be dragging on people, they're dragging on me. Again, I say my energy is a lot. I don't like people being slow around me, right? I don't like people being slow around me. That's my other challenge. Okay, so that's why I want to see if I can do these short boss meetings. But our next Founders Forge it's at 100,000. So if you're a founder here and you're super confused, you want to scale your business, you can get a one-on-one with me. Once you check our landing page, you see I even left my number, everything for you, right? I can go through your business, right? You pay for consultation fee, I go through your business, I scale your business. You can even still pay me percentage. I will just be making you money like that, like that. So yes, I do that very effortlessly. I've had like numbers of people that I've worked with on that. In fact, that my 5 hours class, somebody missed the class and decided to join because she is in government, right? And she decided by midnight that, oh, because she doesn't miss my classes. I don't know how people in their right mind will hear that Mother Eagle is organizing an event and they will not come out. Okay, so but that's what she did. She stayed up at night and listened to the recording. By the morning, she had already made 6 figures randomly. She just sent messages based on what she heard me say in the class, and she was already making money. So I'm just trying to say it so that you start paying attention, right? For us, we're building brands here. Building our brands is a preliminary, right? But we always have money. Okay. So we have barely 6 minutes. So for those people, 4 minutes, those people who want to join us can join us. I tried to compress this class, but it did not compress on its own. But thank you so much for coming out. For the people, oh, let me remove the slides. For the people who are meeting me for the first time, this is my real face, okay? Because I know that the internet has not been doing super justice with me. I've never really been an internet person, like until 2 years ago. In fact, most of my teenage age, I spent it singing in the choir and praying my heart out. 10 hours prayers for some of the churches I went through. One amazing church in Jos I was part of. We used to do stretch all the time. Then I had medical school to contend with. So generally, I'm not a social media person. So if I tell you can make money here, I mean it. And I mean it in the shortest time. There's nothing like, let's keep showing up and see how it goes. If you're still showing up and seeing how it goes, you know that you're not ready to make money here. Okay. You know that you're not ready to make money here. So, guys, thank you so much for coming for my TED Talk. Let me go and see the hazard my children have been doing because I was just hearing boom, boom as I was talking today. But thank you so much for coming out to see me. I have 3 minutes. If anybody has any question, I can probably just, since I said the class is going to end at 7:30, I will just answer maybe one person's question. If you have any questions, I can just treat your question as a case and so that you can start doing something with yourself. But every other person, please join us in the campaign. No, community members, we have 7 days to the countdown on the challenge. I want a lot of people. You might not, you don't have to post the flyer, but you can just talk about it that, oh, this, you're about to start up a journey. You can do it on your WhatsApp, anywhere as well. But join us, join us, join us. I'll see if we can have an event on Sunday because this one was kind of impromptu, so I don't really have much people. But I'll see if we can have an event on Sunday so that we will now, maybe we'll face the land your remote workspace. I'll just, if I have the time, maybe Faith can decide for us as well, right? So that we can, that will be like our first day in camp. Everybody, our first day, because I think 1st of September is on Monday. So that's when we start the challenge itself. So we're going to have, let's call it an onboarding session, but we're going to leave it open for those people who would want to. Yes, campaign is that you can just say that you're starting out. It's not something out of the blue. I've finally, something I'm happy to announce. You guys know Lindsay, I'm happy to announce. On your WhatsApp, you can just say, I'm starting out a new journey in a particular niche. See, just write it. Some of you will even get jobs by just saying, describing what you want to start. Somebody can just tell you, I've been trying to do this. So is it possible you can help me? Again, eyes on the prize. Your portfolio is more important when you're just starting out. Your portfolio is more important than any money you want to shape your mouth to tell somebody. But again, I've told you, if you document your value, you'll be able to charge anything you want. So, but if you are a careless person, that is how your money will be careless towards you. And you don't want that for yourself. And then another beautiful way to scale whatever you're going to charge anyone is by building systems. Systems as simple as your Calendly. I'm going to say it in passing so that let it not be that I don't tell anybody anything this night. Your Calendly, your onboarding form, we do all that on camp. Your landing page, your testimonial videos, your portfolio, your CV optimized. All these things we're going to do in camp in that 7 days. Oh, that's why I'm telling you people, join camp today so that you can finish the book. We're not doing the book in camp. The book is so that you're aware and your eyes are now, the Bible called it circumspect. That means you're able to see opportunities everywhere you hang it. So thank you so much for coming to my TED talk. For the people who were able to come in, I love and I celebrate you. Let me make this call very short and easy for other people to come and watch on a rewatch. So thank you so much. Do have an amazing night rest. I'm going to be ending the live in 4, 3. My children and drama.
Legend tells of the phoenix, a mythical bird that burns. It symbolizes renewal, strength, and transformation. 1 year ago, Phoenix Gate Group was born with that same fiery spirit to inspire, connect, and empower professionals across the globe. And what a journey it's been. Under the visionary leadership of Dr. Vivian Magnus, our founder and lead coach, we didn't just take flight, we soared, we stumbled, we built, we believed. And today, through tears and triumph, we celebrate 1 year of relentless impact, meaningful milestones, and unimaginable transformation. From humble beginnings, Zoom links, voice notes, midnight strategy calls, we've grown into a powerhouse community with nearly 1,000 members strong. In just 12 months, we have reached over 40,000 professionals across the US.